The Bulldogs, they proved they can play wet weather footy, a great win over the Warriors. The Roosters demolished the Dolphins. This one was absolute carnage. 4 players sent to the bin. Was it the right call? We'll dive into that shortly. The Dragons caused a monumental upset over the Sharkies. The Raiders go to the top of the ladder. And the Seagulls' finals hopes, well, they are all but over. The mighty Penrith Panthers, they are back inside the top 4. Can they do the unthinkable and make it 5 premierships in a row? And the Storm beat the Broncos. The big story to come out of that one is 3 serious hamstring injuries for Brisbane. So, Billy, take us through the ladder as it stands with a couple of games still to play.
Yeah, over the next month, it'll be a case of snakes and ladders for the NRL ladder. And you look at the top 4, all of those top 4 teams posted victories over the weekend, and they're sitting pretty. The big one is the Penrith Panthers. Can you believe in round 12 that they were sitting last? They have not lost a game since round 12, and that's why they're sitting in 4th position and have everyone looking over their shoulders. The rest of the 8, they're certainly wobbling. The Warriors are wobbling, the Broncos, Sharks, the Dolphins. The team that is on the rise are the Roosters. They played incredibly well on the weekend and hitting their straps at the right time. Big game this afternoon, Titans and Rabbitohs. That could decide the wooden spoon.
Yep. Lots to look forward to, but let's dive straight into our Sunday roast, and we have to talk about the epic footy that unfolded yesterday. We had Saturday night footy back here on 9, which was great. Freddie, you were calling this one alongside Billy, and there are a lot of question marks about the Dogs and their wet weather footy, but they proved that they can do it, and all the usual suspects, Burton, Crichton, Galvin on full display.
Well, if you looked at just what the Dogs did, it was the perfect wet weather game. The way they played, they moved the ball. Their kicking game was brilliant. They made few errors. They completed high. It was brilliant. You nearly have to go over and watch it again to see what sort of impact the actual Warriors had. I don't know how much pressure they put on the Bulldogs at all. You look at some of these tries being scored, and they just ran through tackles. They missed no tackles. Perfect wet weather game.
Not bad for a team that don't like playing in the wet or have poor wet weather form. I agree. I thought they kicked really early. I thought that was a tactic that served them well. 3rd tackle, probably on 3 or 4 occasions, Matt Burton used his boot. He actually got a 40-20 off an offload, 3rd tackle, and kicked it long. I thought Kurt Mann made a real difference when he came on the field. That's when they started opening up and using the football. But they played the percentages. I actually think the wet weather suits their style. It's actually a style that, stands up in wet weather, which Cameron Ciraldo mentioned in the post-match press conference. But, yeah, they're doing a few things right. They've got the best defence in the comp and they're getting back to that best defensive game. So getting it right at the right time.
What about
Warriors are a chance of falling out of the 8? Looking at them,
they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah,
and now outside the top 4 for the first time since round 6. Obviously, history tells us you can't win the comp from outside the top 4, but are the Warriors the exception where you wouldn't mind finishing 5th? You get a home final to start with. Given the travel, you'd still always rather top 4?
They're absolutely gone. Unfortunately, they've had no luck towards the end of the year. Losing Luke Metcalf, it's crippled them.
Well, I think they went for a change. They brought Tamari Martin in, and it didn't work. He got knocked out, HIA, so it was grade 1, so he's out for another week. So Tanner Boyd will likely come back in the halfback. So I thought that was going to be maybe a change, and they could have developed from that, but it went backwards. So it's hard to know how it's going to go from here.
Wade Egan is a big omission as well. Sam Healy, he did a great job when he came on, a point of difference, attacked from dummy half. I think they missed Wade Egan. What you can't do, well, to win the competition, you need to be playing your best football. And you need to be playing it in August. You can't be playing it in September. You can't flick the switch in September. So you need to build, and that's what they're not doing at the moment. They're not playing their best football at the moment. And if they can find it, sure, they're a chance. But, they're way off.
It was absolute carnage up at Suncorp Stadium. The Roosters demolishing the Dolphins, but the big talking point out of this one was the push and shove. So there was a little moment here. This sort of started it all, and then there was an all-in brawl where, here it is. So 4 players get sent to the bin. Was that over the top, Billy, that Christian Wolf wasn't happy with the fact that his players are just simply defending themselves? Would it have been sufficient that just Spencer got binned?
Well, to start with, for all of us sitting at home and calling the game, it is great theatre. It is outstanding theatre. But for the people involved in the game, is it fair? Probably not. Christian Wolf was asking the question, well, what did his players do wrong? You know, there was a slight high tackle. They got penalised for it. And then Spencer ran in from about 15 metres away. That was let go. There was a warning. And then I thought the Roosters started the push and shove in the in-goal. The Dolphins were just standing there after they'd got a try scored against them. So what did you want the Dolphins to do? So the concerning thing for me were the referees asking for 2 and 2. You know, asking for 2 players from the Dolphins and 2 players from the Roosters. I thought that was a little bit unfair. You've got to look at it on its merits and see what happened here. It actually wasn't even that guy. It was Donahue that actually got him high. And yeah, I just great theatre, but a bit unfair for the Dolphins, I thought.
What are they supposed to do? I don't know what they're supposed to do. The Dolphins players just stand there and let them.
Yeah. There you go. There, Gerard Sutton said, "I want 2 and 2." Look, that's not refereeing the game. That's trying to make it fair. That's not actually fair. Like to call for 2 and 2, like that's I don't understand that.
Spencer Leniu was loving all of it. He's probably not well liked in Queensland as it is, but the fact that when he was coming off, they were giving it to him. Later, scored a try and did the shush to the crowd. He's someone that he feeds off that, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, that would have been terrifying when he was coming at you with his fists up. That's the way he plays.
Is it a line to...
Well, it's a fine line, but that's the way he plays.
Well, it can cost you.
Yeah, it can cost you.
It can cost you. And it'll cost you, if it does cost you, it'll be in an important moment. So, you know, somewhere between here and the big games that hopefully they're going to play in, that there needs to be a small change.
It's pretty wild to think now that the Roosters, at the start of the season, we spent all off-season really talking about the players and experience that they'd lost, but Trent Robinson really backed their younger players and they were confident in their systems. And, I mean, James Tedesco's been phenomenal. Sam Walker's made a big difference since coming back, and now they could be playing finals footy.
Well, Sam Walker could make the difference. He's playing outstanding. I think they have an incredibly great balanced team. Their wingers are athletic. They can score from high balls. They're great out of the backfield. Their captain and fullback is a star. He's playing as good as I've ever seen him play. And then they're through the middle of the field. They have power. You got Leniu, Lindsay Collins, Nafahu White. Like, they're a footy team. I don't know if anyone's sort of looking over their shoulder at the Roosters, but they're sitting in 9th position at the moment. The teams that need to be looking over their shoulders are the Warriors, Broncos, Sharks and Dolphins, because they're currently sitting in that bottom half of the 8. The Roosters could leapfrog the lot of them.
We spoke about that. The top 4 won and the bottom 4 lost. And then all of a sudden the Roosters sit just below them, one of the more talented teams. And, you know, a lot of those players are used to big games, so it'll be interesting back into the season.
The points were handy too, the differential.
Yeah.
Especially against the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, yeah.
Well, the Broncos will be looking over their shoulder, that's for sure. They have a tough month ahead, given they are now missing 3 of their stars. We have never seen a moment like this. Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds do their hammy in the same play. We'll dissect what it means for the Broncos after the break. Devastation for Broncos fans, a defining moment in their season. Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds go down with hamstring injuries in the same play. Later on, Selwyn Cobbo does his hamstring as well. At this stage, it looks like Adam Reynolds will be out for 3 to 4 weeks, so he could be back before the end of the season, but the injuries to Ezra Mam and Selwyn Cobbo are a little bit worse. So it's not official, but it's looking like season could be over for both of those.
Really? Because I saw Madge the day after the game and he said, Ezra, they think it's a back problem. And he said he may be back next week. I don't know if he's had scans since then.
Well, there's been nothing official. So if that's the case, that's
I think
awesome.
Reports have been
Selwyn's
pretty much season over for Ezra and Selwyn.
And Selwyn, yeah. But
Adam Reynolds
nothing
is a
official.
grade 2.
But he was confident the next day, Madge. He was really confident.
Yeah.
So we assume now, obviously, Ben Hunt, one of their marquee signings, he goes into 7. Alongside him, is it a Billy Walters? Is it a...
Yeah, that's where you interviewed Darren Lockyer after the game. And he said Billy Walters. I didn't think of Billy. I was thinking the young guy, Kobe Black.
Yeah. They've got Jock Madden at the club as well. Not sure
I think he's playing reserve grade this week, Jock Madden.
Back from a peck.
Yeah. Look, this is obviously a disaster, losing Adam Reynolds, your captain, and Ezra Mam, one of your real strike players. He come within a whisker of picking up a Clive Churchill medal a few years ago. But as soon as you can overcome that, the best thing the Broncos can do is get to Saturday night. Saturday night can't come quick enough for the Broncos because that's when they play next and they can put all this behind them. They've got Reece Walsh at fullback, Ben Hunt in the halves with Billy Walters. I've got Corey Pakes and Tyson Smoothie are the dummy halves. Get on with the season. That's the biggest thing the Broncos need to do because they've got enough quality in those key positions to actually still shake this competition. But they need to get over this devastation of losing these two players because the more they think about that, the more they're not thinking about what's in front of them.
Melbourne showed their strength. Geez, they're going to be hard to beat. To get everyone back, I think the big one is Nelson. I think they need Nelson back.
Well, he played reserve grade this week.
How'd he go, you know?
No, I haven't seen how he went, but coming back from a suspension, that just shows you the depth of what Melbourne have at the moment. Still Will Warbrick to come back into the game, into the team, sorry.
When's he back?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's back training, which is a good sign, coming back from concussion symptoms.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if they can get not even their full team on the field, because they've got great depth, if they can just play their best football, yeah, they're a team to beat.
The one thing Ballyoak spoke about was defence. Like the Broncos, like Reece looked lively. He was sort of throwing himself at the game, but they made no line breaks. They barely dented Melbourne's defence. Their defence was brilliant. Their attacks, you know, they come over, they give you plenty of chances, Melbourne. They make errors, but their defence was incredible. So good.
Ben Hunt's 350th game
this
week. It's huge, especially the way he plays. Like he hasn't got a dinner suit.
Yeah.
He doesn't play in a dinner suit. He plays tough,
doesn't he?
Yeah.
So even if Reynolds does come back, but if you have no Ezra, no Cobbo, are you prepared to put a line through there?
No, depending on Adam Reynolds, how he comes back or if he comes back.
The other big one is Xavier Willison, who broke his arm last week. That's another big one that we've forgotten about. So you can start, you know, piecing these puzzles together, and I think they can piece it together. Any more injuries, it'd be too much. But at the moment, I still think they can field a strong 17.
Will be tough. I wonder what the punters think. So let's welcome in Joel Kane from Sportsbet.
I'll tell you what, Em, coaching, what a tough assignment that is. Bennett and Hasler between them, almost 1,500 games. The loser of this looks likely to be on their way to their first wooden spoon. Can you believe that? Who would have ever thought that? Plenty of try scorers, of course. AJ's chasing that great record. Khan Pereira, he can score as well. Maybe that's in your same game multi. They will be popular. Now, this game here, Parramatta take on the Cowboys, back-to-back in Sydney, the Cowboys. Are they going to turn up for their coach this time around? But this is a big problem. Have a look at this. This centre-right channel, so you're talking about those left-sided back rowers and left centres against this team, maybe the left half. They are just letting them through, ushering them through to meat pies. That is a big problem. So maybe you think about the Fox. He's playing good footy at the moment, the Fox. I reckon he'd be a great pick-up for the Perth Bears too. They'd love him over there, the Fox. 2 or more tries for him. Not too far away, you've got the NRLW. It is the Titans taking on the Roosters, who have not lost a game since last year, ironically, when they went to Seabus to take on the Titans. So could the Titans yet again give an upset here? For try scorers, I think the Isabel Kelly price is a bit too big, folks. And Olivia Koenig is an absolute gun. Enjoy your Sunday, folks, and we'll catch you soon.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Well, it seems hard to believe. 9 weeks ago, the Penrith Panthers were at the bottom of the ladder. 9 wins on the trot, and all of a sudden, they are inside the top 4. A dominant win over the Knights on Friday, 48-12, the final score. And now we start asking, can they actually do the unthinkable and make it 5 premierships in a row? I know, Joey, you've been saying
no, but now I'm saying yes. Because I didn't think they'd make
converted.
I didn't think they'd make the top 4. I thought they were absolutely no chance of making the top 4. Now they're in the top 4, they can win it for sure.
Next 3 games, they've got Melbourne. I think the Dogs are 1 and also
Raiders,
the Raiders.
yeah.
So we'll get a good idea.
Well, at worst, they win 1 out of those 3, and then they finish with St George Illawarra. You'd think, 35 would get them top 4. Because the Broncos, although the Sharks have got a really good run in, that loss last night.
They get a buy too, the Sharks. They've got a buy.
Do you want that tough draw coming in? Would you rather be tested, or does it...
Not that
no, not that tough. Toughish, but not that...
No.
Well, it's in their hands. So you want your destiny in your own hands. And they're as good as chance as anyone. You think the Raiders, yep, they can beat the Raiders. Storm, yep, they can beat the Storm. Bulldogs, they're as good a chance as anyone. And this left-hand side that has really stood up. Blaze Talangi, young McLean, and Thomas Jenkins he's gone from a reserve grader to not just a first grader, but a consistent first grader that is playing well every week. Some of their guys in their team are really stepping up. Lindsay Smith is playing outstanding. Their dummy half, Kenny. Absolutely, they can win the competition.
You think about it on that left-hand side as well. They haven't had Sorensen for much of the year, and Garner's been there. Like they've had all different players fitting in there. So, yeah, I think like when you actually look at their team, you know, they lost a couple of key players, but they brought in some young guns. Like Talangi's a gun. I think Isaiah Papali's a gun. You know, they've got some of these blokes, and Casey McLean's a gun. So they're actually now starting to build confidence, their game. They're getting their game, their disciplines in order. They're hard to beat.
The one question mark that I do have, and the Panthers cover up things as good as anyone, it's their captain, Isaiah Yeo, with his shoulder. He went down with the shoulder last week, and the way he landed, it can be serious. There hasn't been much reported on it, and he didn't play on the weekend. So how serious that is will determine a lot, because he does so much work for them. Look, they're a dangerous footy team anyway, but you take Isaiah Yeo out of that for the rest of the year, and that's a big problem. They
keep things covered up well. A couple of years ago in the final series, that was when Dylan Edwards had a fractured foot or a stress fracture, was in a moon boot. No one knew until after the grand final. So
that's why they're the best club.
Trust. Keep it in-house.
Things don't get out.
For someone like a Casey McLean, he was dropped earlier in the year and just, I mean, he's young. It took a little while to work on his game. How valuable would something like going back to reserve grade be for him, just to, I guess, learn the ins and outs of being a week-on-week first-grade footy player?
Oh, he's a star. He is an out-and-out star. There was a moment, there was a game earlier in the year when he took on Stephen Crichton, and he got a bit aggressive, and he actually stood up for himself, and I think that was a real moment in his career. He is a real strike player. You can just give him the ball and he can do the rest. He's one of those guys where you don't need to create too much for him. Give him that early ball and he's got size, power, speed, skill. Like he's got it all, and he's only young.
Thursday night, Storm Panthers.
Yes,
that's when we'll get a real idea of where they're at. I mean, you often sit on the fence, but you're going to give us an early tip? Or wait till we know who's playing? Wait till we know?
You can't go off early.
I think Penrith will get this one.
You do?
Yeah, they are Freddie.
Mate, it's Sunday. When's this game? It's Thursday.
Thursday.
I want to ring Isaiah and see where Isaiah is first.
Ring him in the break. Can we get an exclusive here on the Sunday Footy Show?
Geez, there's matchups all over. Nathan, Munster, Harry. Oh, how good's this going to be?
Live and free from 7:30 on Thursday night. Bring it on. How good is Ethan Strange going at the moment, and the Raiders sitting pretty at the top of the ladder? We're going to look at some of this Champagne Rugby League after the break. Yes, our Champagne Rugby League moment for another week in honour of Fatty. How good were the Raiders? But in particular, Ethan Strange, the young 5'8", 3 tries as the Raiders went back to the top of the ladder. He's been in incredible form, Ethan, and it prompted his coach Ricky Stewart to say after the match here on our Channel 9 coverage that Ethan will play for the Kangaroos at the end of the year, and he is the next number 6 for New South Wales. I mean, he's certainly got a future in rep footy, but do we think it's too soon this year to be playing for Australia? Where do you sit on this one, Joey?
You got Nathan, you got Moses, you got
Munster,
Dearden. So maybe not this year, but geez, it'd be good 5'8" in rep footy. If you've got a really good ball playing dummy half and a half back, a running 5'8" like Ethan Strange, geez, and tough. You could play him anywhere.
That's what I mean. It'd be interesting. You know, you look, Connor Watson's getting towards 30, or maybe over 30, I'm not sure, but you know, coming off that number 14 position, he could play a few different roles. He looks tough enough to play in the middle if he had to.
Playing the backs, he played in the centres in that under-19 State of Origin game, and he was the best player on the field.
He's more of a right-side player. I was talking to Ricky Stewart about him. said, oh, you know, on the left side, because he runs with the ball in that left hand. He said, no, he's actually better on the other side. And in that 19s, New South Wales, he was playing right centre.
Yeah.
Well, you think about Ethan Sanders as the up-and-coming halfback of the Raiders. He's a left-foot kicker.
Yep.
So he might transfer to the other side.
That's what they're going to do, yeah.
Yeah, look, with rep football, you need to be the best player in your position. You need to be the best player in that position that you want to play rep footy in. And at the moment, I think there's a few in front of him, but it's certainly not beyond him.
He scored 3, and then he did that defensive read late, came up, put pressure.
Jammed in.
Yeah, when... Who scored that one on the outside?
That was Seb Chris's try.
Seb Chris.
Yeah, and it was an indication from a ruck forward ball playing. I think
How good is
Jazz Tavanga.
How good is Kohler going?
He was the only spark for the Manly Sea Eagles. He set that try up and then he scored one where there was nothing happening at all.
Geez, that side defence was their right side defence. Like, I know he's leaving Cherry, but...
This try here.
Got to aim up defence.
Off his left foot.
Look at this.
Once he finds space, he takes advantage of it with his speed.
Now
That side defence, geez, it was poor. Their right side, just leaking points.
Raiders heading into a bye, are you safe to say now that they're going to lock up the minor premiership?
Yeah,
Or
they're a dangerous team. They are a dangerous team. When they get it right, when those offloads stick, they are so hard to stop.
They still give every team a chance. Like I think the scores were even going in at half time. They give everyone a chance, and second half they've been incredible this year. So if you're the coach, they keep him nervous.